The man in the box. I don't sound anything like Lane Staley. Unfortunately, I'd be on the road with what remains of Alice in Chains. And these are them, sir. Yes.
Well done.
Yes. Outstanding. What a great
Rock and roll.
that's a great song.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I recently rewatched Idiocracy.
Oh, good for
I
you.
I have to do that this weekend. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And did you notice that there's always some dude? It's either an announcer or some really smart ass, stupid guy who has a voice like he goes, "Hey, everybody." I don't know if that's Mike Judge.
Oh, maybe,
That
I don't know.
voice cracks me up, man.
Hey, everybody. More GPUs.
Yeah, more GPUs.
In a world where GPUs don't exist, we had to do AI with CPUs.
Yeah.
Welcome to Costco. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
We love Costco.
Oh my God.
Is Costco selling GPUs now?
Next week, in order to prop up their earnings, they will replace all of the cardboard inside their racks and just put GPUs in there too.
Yeah.
Fiber to the site.
Yeah, you
The
can
cooling
buy
stream.
AI as a service through Costco.
Yeah.
Instead of garage doors or refrigerators, you can just buy your AI services through Costco. It's a good deal.
I think that's a winner because everybody buys everything from Costco.
Why not?
Yeah,
You
I
get some
think-
toilet paper.
Well, given what we see these days, it should be in the produce section, because you need to buy some every week as a perishable.
True, it's perishable.
Perishable item. That's a
I
good.
bought some berries. I bought some berries from there 6 months ago, and they look great still.
Ugh.
Yeah, but the GPUs are obsolete. The berries are fine, but the GPUs are obsolete.
Yeah. I have last week's hardware.
Yeah. Okay. So here, I just saw some interesting news. Speaking of AI data centers, which we were just,
We call it the neocloud, Costco neocloud.
neocloud.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll give you the best spot price on GPUs.
There you go.
Oracle pushes back several data centers for OpenAI to 2028 from 2027. So see that, I wrote that piece on RPO, right? Which is, remaining
Like RPC.
purchase open. Yeah, RPC. Rocket propelled. You mean RPG?
RPG.
RPG even.
Remote procedure call.
Yeah, that's right. Pete knows
No,
what I'm talking
RPO. Yeah. No, I do. It's all the Corba crap, huh?
Same Oracle that announced that deal with OpenAI, but nothing got shipped anywhere. But their stock is the stock still going up though?
No,
No.
a huge dump today.
It lost. It's already gone down like 40% since the pop that it had. After OpenAI says we're going to buy 300 billion worth of compute from Oracle,
Right.
and everybody's like, awesome. And then over time they're like, hey, did anybody check Sam Altman's checkbook?
Yeah. No one did.
It's a little red. I don't know if they can write that check.
But
that's like a Top Gun thing.
But you know what
You're
really?
writing checks your body can't cash, Maverick.
Oh my God, you're so right, dude. But you know what really bugs me is all these people who basically help to pump the hype. Went all in with the nonsense, or pulling back, trying to position themselves as "I told you so" guys.
You mean early
bugged.
investors? Is that?
Well, yeah,
is
that's the other thing. It's like, I responded to somebody who was trashing Roger Entner, who, I mean, Roger's a very respectable telco analyst, and these two guys are like trashing him, and so I intervened. I say, hey, look, and the comment that one of them made was they were astonished at how ignorant he was, and I'm like, that triggered me. I said, no. Roger and I, we know that most people don't know, that we don't even publish in our research reports. We're astonished about how ignorant everyone else is. Okay, so if you're not in the rooms that we're in, you need to just lay down. You need to don't trash Roger when you don't know. You don't know.
People love to trash people these days.
Yeah. I mean,
that's all they do.
Yeah, but Rob, you're starting to be privy to some of the conversations that don't get out into the press, right? Because that is one of the things about being an analyst. We're privy to NDA material to support our research, but we don't talk about this stuff. That's kind of like our obligation having this class as being an analyst. And so that's why we're not just journalists, right? We are we get information that the press doesn't get, but for an entirely different purpose.
Double secret probation.
Yeah, but then so one of the dudes is arguing that, well, if are you saying that retail investors are not vested in being right? And I was thinking, it depends on who of course, but maybe you should listen to Roger more than some bonehead who isn't in the room with Roger, myself, and Rob and others who are in the analyst community. It's who are you listening to? Because you can invest on headlines, but you could be very wrong. And most people are going to be wrong. And right now, if you say anything negative about AI, you have all these investor guys that will troll you, right? They say, you don't know what you're talking about. And
You don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, wow.
It's like,
Okay, so you're getting your advice from a friggin' cab driver, right? And we don't know what we're talking about. Okay, all right.
Maybe the cab driver does have, has a Bloomberg trading desk on the dashboard of his vehicle.
I've seen some of those cabs have quite a bit of tech in them. So.
It happens.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But
that's true. That's a Bloomberg machine.
Just to pick on the question of, the retail investors have their own, benefit to care about it. I mean, of course, but here's the thing. Grab the average retail investor against, I don't know, the S&P 500 for the last, let's just go 5-10 years, not even 30. Yeah. And how many have actually beaten the S&P? And the answer, if it's not too many. I think you fellow analysts are being attacked by the next generation of journalists / analysts that didn't do the work that you've done. They don't have the real expertise. They don't have the experience. They don't understand nuance, and they're full of cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Pardon my French. I don't speak English either.
That's right.
And this is what we're seeing. So what do? We yell louder. We get mad.
Yeah.
We retrieve the word soup that ends in AI, and then people go, oh, that guy really knows what he's saying. And it's just me putting together sandwich words and distracting you with Edge AI socks. Look at this.
Whoa.
Yeah. Edge Impulse. Edge Impulse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
David, I love you.
I know one guy who doesn't lose any tennis game with these socks.
Yeah, that's right. Those are my lucky socks.
Oh.
Although I didn't post the fact that I actually lost last weekend with those socks.
Yikes. I just love that David talked about these fund managers not beating the S&P 500. It reminds me of my really good friend, Gordon Gekko, who said, why those fund managers can't beat the S&P 500? Because they're sheep, and sheep get slaughtered. There you go, buttocks.
Or sheared first, I think.
But the moral of the story, Rob, is Gordon Gekko was Gordon Gekko.
I love Gordo. Gordo's my man. How many yachts can you ski behind, Gordon?
Feels like they need to reboot that movie and bring back Michael Douglas for another.
Michael Douglas is one of my favorite actors of all time. The guy rocks. It's so funny, unrelated to IoT. That movie was supposed to be a cautionary tale, and the opposite happened. All of a sudden, Gordon Gekko became worshipped by everybody, and all these people wanted to go into the stock game, and they're like watching. Basically, they get fired up every morning. First, you watch Wall Street, then you watch Glenn Roth, then you go out there and take no prisoners.
Then you put on your suspenders.
Yes, exactly. There you go. Most of the people out there know net worth.
We idolize it,
Everybody who buys a lottery ticket thinks they're going to win. So, that's that.
That's true. That's
why they buy the lottery ticket, because they think they're going to win.
Yeah.
So when you tell them that they're not going to win, they get
pissed off. Yeah. They get really, and they don't want to hear the facts.
No.
And what they do is they support these yahoos that will feed them the fake news. And who are probably paid off.
Fake news people. Yeah. Fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news people.
I mean,
this is all AI generated.
It's all AI generated. It's all fake news.
Well, we're beyond fake news now. It's alternate realities. Everybody is creating his own alternate reality and try to rally people around it. It's actually, maybe it's the concept of a split metaverse. It's not one metaverse, but it's everyone's individual smaller. Yeah, it's multiverse.
So we all have our own created universe.
Exactly. Yeah, but when the timelines cross, like nothing ever good came out of that.
Oh yeah, you have to do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we the Ghostbusters of AI?
I don't know.
Don't cross the streams, buddy.
So maybe we should create an AI Busters. Yeah, AI Busters.
AI Busters.
Let's make a franchise and launch the movie.
There you go.
We're going to bring back Bill Murray.
It sounds like a Sora video in the making.
But please,
it's about to happen. I'm going to make it today.
And we can use a Tesla instead of a DeLorean. We patch a Tesla with a gas engine. So it'll be fun. So,
hey,
I would love for somebody to make an electric DeLorean.
Before anyone beats me to use the words physical AI, look who I was hanging out with today.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, Leonard. Yeah. What's his name, Leonard? What's his name?
Dimitrios Spiliopoulos. Spiliopoulos. How did I do, Dimitrio?
Listen, for the joke is that Leonard met with Dimitrios at as did Rob at an AWS reInvent the other day in Vegas, and we have a funny live video of Leonard absolutely butchering my man's last name. But it's okay. We had a good time with that.
He said endometriosis instead.
Yeah. It sounded like a newly found viral disease.
He's a good
Spiliopoulos. Come on.
Yeah.
But had a really good chat regarding the non-fake news. That it's funny because he called it physical AI, which has a lot to do with robots helping humans do tasks. So I'm like, okay, so robots, cobots, like good stuff. Why are we calling it, physical AI? Just because you do sprinkle a little bit of AI somewhere, but why can't we just call it? Why do we have to call everything AI now? Like that's the thing. Like
because it attracts investors. Because it attracts investors and money. It's a money magnet. Where's the money, guys? It's always the same question. Follow the money.
Totally. Everyone was metaverse, and they thought it was people writing checks, right? So now they're jumping to AI. So I've seen a lot of companies don't have anything to do with AI. All of a sudden, they're an AI company. And
there you go. You got to attract investors.
Fun funding. Yeah.
I don't think physical AI. I like the term physical AI. I think it's cool. Embodied AI.
Let's get physical. Yeah.
Physical actuators with machine learning and stuff. It's a thing.
It grounds it. It's real world.
Pete and I know when we remember a time, sometimes when you have to put a certain word connected to everything. There was a time in the early 2000s when Microsoft changed the name of almost every product. It's like Windows Server.net, SQL Server.net, like everything was .net. And
remember Live? Remember when we said everything was live?
Windows Live.
MSN Live, Windows Live, Messenger Live.
And in the 90s, we used the word active a lot. ActiveX, Active Directory, Active this. Activate the internet. Woo!
Man, Active Directory, another bane of my Microsoft existence.
Yeah, David, when you say cobots, Dave, when you say cobots, I always think Cohiba. Why is that?
Because they are one of the finest cigars available for cigar people. Even though I am a little bit biased to Arturo Fuentes, what is it, Opus X or something with an X?
Yes.
Good stuff. Yes, Caribbean cigars.
Good stuff. We all love it.
And it all ends up in smoke. So exactly.
I don't smoke either.
But I love having a good cigar every once in a while.
You forgot next gen. Everything was next gen. Remember?
Next gen.
Yeah.
Yeah, next gen. Exactly. What if your name is Jen? And your next gen? I don't know. This thing's just going off the rails.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool because Leonard, his image is not frozen, but he looks like his mouth has been agape for like the last minute. So he looks like he's passed out over there. It's going to be a great video to rewatch.
It's his AI agent that took over.
No. I'm just astonished at how. Okay. Welcome to IoT Coffee Talk. Take us seriously at your own risk, and make sure to take out insurance. If you take any of our advice, you're not too hard.
Misguided.
Anyway, I'm just astonished at how MicroStrategy, their stock has taken a massive dump. They're down over like 60%. It's like crazy.
Yikes.
More than that. They went from a high of 457. We usually don't talk about this kind of crap, by the way, folks. It's just that we have to have occasions to laugh at and things like this. And then now it's at like 176.
Well, their major assets are Bitcoin. So what could possibly go wrong?
No. I mean, it's just such a joke. And let's go back to that calling everything AI. I've been talking to a lot of companies these days about the problem of everyone AI washing. Is companies lose their identity, and when leadership puts AI in front of everything, when their business has nothing to freaking do with AI, leadership loses their compass, and then the organization becomes distracted, and then the organization starts to go in the wrong direction. And then a lot of capital and effort is invested in becoming something that they're not. I mean, it's psychotic almost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When you lose your compass, it's like destroying your sweater. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
What?
Never mind.
What?
Which movie did this come from?
I was just thinking of a song.
No, I don't know. This is in the history of every record. This is the first one that Rob says that it went over my head. So let me distract us with a picture of the Cascades Mountain, Pacific Northwest.
Y'all did listen to music in the 90s. All right, never mind.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
But Leonard, remember every tech wave, there is always people that do the washing, right? Remember digital ready speakers from Radio Shack, or you remember like 5G ready screen protectors or whatever. Like people take that and they slap it on their business and they try to sell some stuff. But you're right. I think companies that change their strategy, I think certainly people that are in the business where AI is going to change their business need to get on top of it and use it, right? So
I got two good examples. Do you remember the .com era? And as we started to collapse, a lot of people, everybody, the name of their companies was blah, blah, blah.com. Amazon.com was the name of the company. And then as things went into the collapse, Amazon got rid of the .com. And then all of a sudden, all these companies started getting rid of the .com in their name, thinking that would save them. Also, during the IoT platform craze, I remember, when we had our Lumada IoT platform, and then we had some guy who parachuted into Hitachi from GE Digital after they had collapsed, and he's like, I don't think I like platforms anymore, and we're like, oh crap.
You're a platform.
It's the Lumada system, or it's the Lumada whatever. Don't call it a platform, and maybe they won't kill it. They killed it anyway. So people
What's
do
in a name? What's in a name?
But do you know why? Do you know why a guy coming from GE Digital would prefer to use platform? The reason is we didn't call Predix a platform. We called it an operating system.
Oh, when companies call their product an operating system, it makes me vomit in my mouth.
And
just a little bit. I throw up in my mouth just a little bit.
Unless you're actually making an operating system.
Yeah. So I tried to fight that, but I was not very successful. But so that's probably the idea. The guy was frustrated that he had to call it your operating system because Dimitri was bashing on him all the time. So he said, "Oh, now I'm going to Hitachi. I'm going to call it platform."
I'm building the operating system for digital twins. Whatever.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have as much problem technically with the idea of platform. What I thought was really annoying, first off, and maybe misguided, was the HBS talk about platforms. I thought that was kind of a joke. So where you have legitimate technical lingo being appropriated by these HBS guys, and they come up with some these professors come up with some far-fetched theory about business transformation. That's where I think things become a problem. And then everyone thinks that they have to have a platform all of a sudden. It's like, no, you don't have to.
Everybody's got a platform for the internet.
That's like, what the hell are you saying? It's like, let companies focus on old school stuff, your core competencies, focus on delivering value to your customers. And as soon as you start to lose that focus, your business is screwed. And, I actually had David Linthicum yesterday. He was on my podcast. We recorded it. I'm going to release it. We had some really good discussions about exactly this and, our reactions to reInvent. There was so much agentic AI washing, and there was only 10 minutes. Right, on Matt Garman's presentation about their core business. It was almost like, dudes, are you guys like distracted from your core business? You only gave it 10 minutes. And their whole story could have been, look, we've been working with this AI stuff, okay? We've been working with our customers. We're actually out in the field working with them with this. And you know what? It's hard. And oh, by the way, nobody is arguing that enterprise AI, industrial AI adoption is much slower than all these talking heads were telling everyone it will be, right?
What?
And then they're going to
Elba is already showing me that we've got agents at ServiceNow. He did. And Matthew McConaughey.
It's Matthew McConaughey. It's like, restaurant reservation. He's in the rain.
All in.
He's in the rain, and the other guy's in the restaurant, and it's because of agentic AI.
Okay, no,
agents. Yeah, they're everywhere already. Billions of agents. Billions.
I'm glad you reminded us. We are so.
What's better than a billion agents?
A trillion agents.
1 million agents.
Yeah, but that's not even where their customers are today. Like all this agentic stuff that they put up there, and I'm not gonna single out. I'm singling out AWS right now, but this goes for the rest of them too, because at Ignite it was the same nonsense. Google's XYZ, it was the same nonsense. But for AWS, I mean, you guys they're like the king of the cloud mountain, and they're not emphasizing cloud. When you think about it, you really do need to make this cloud native transition in order for Agentic to work. And the problem is a lot of people don't know how Agentic AI is deployed, how it works, but they're going all in on this with their priorities. And you know what? This is going to be the lesson learned in 2026. Holy crap. We're not ready for this.
Wait. I know how agents are deployed. Use the little setup wizard. And you click next, and then there's the EULA that you don't read, and you say, yeah, next. And it installs on Windows. That's how you deploy agents, right?
No.
Rob, what it is, it's really if this, then that. But if I'm selling cloud and managed services and advisory, Andy Jesse's pockets are just fattening, I can call it whatever I want.
Well, Rob, I think you came up with a new product for the Install Shield folks, the Install Shield for agents.
No, but you don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we're bringing the Install Shield back to life, baby. Absolutely.
No, Rob, you're wrong. You don't do that anymore. You just use an AI agent to deploy the AI agents. That's the most logical thing to do.
I think I'm going to single-handedly, over the holidays, I'm going to write some code for our if this then that agents to compete against AI agents. And I will use Install Shield to install it on Windows. And let's see who wins. I'm going to bet on the billions of people that run Windows who understand that versus this ambiguous Idris Elba, Matthew McConaughey thing that's going to happen. I don't believe it. I think we're going to win with deterministic agents.
Deterministic.
Like a calculator. It's the 4-function calculator of the future.
And they all lead you to the good old blue screen.
If you're lucky.
Now that's what I call an operating system.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And blue screen, it's not an operating system.
That's right. They're going to take my stuff up in spaceships. Not that probabilistic. It might work 90% of the time on spaceships.
And to our listeners, we are not advising you to buy SpaceX stock. Okay.
God.
This is a great time to remind our listeners,
man.
Rob, you are going to be accused of insider training if you're putting some space things at the time that we are talking about putting SpaceX into IPOs. Be careful.
That's why you have to be independent. Yeah.
Do not make financial decisions or healthcare decisions based on any information you hear on this show ever. You're welcome.
Ever.
No.
Your fault.
Ever.
Hey, Debbie, what were you saying?
I agree. The thing that you were saying about people trying to lead with AI, they're hoping, fingers crossed. It's like, okay, if we keep turning and throwing money at it, we're going to be able to do it. But they know that their data is trash, and they can't. It's never going to get better. So it's like a lot of them want to achieve it, but they will not. They cannot achieve what they want to.
There you go.
Yeah.
Your data is trash. Your data is trash. You need to do some data engineering and check yourself.
Remember the good old days when we would recognize that. Let's just pick Rob's friends in the oil and gas industry or some of our manufacturing friends, where we would just say, listen, you're not missing data. You have all the data you need. You already have it. It exists. It's not together, but it already exists. What you need is insights. So where is the AGI sprinkle juice, the LLM and what is it, and an MCP that just lets an operator with a keyboard and not even fast typing, like pecking, like how do I reduce downtime 80%? Enter. Where's that? Right? We need that.
But you know,
the year. AGI sprinkle juice. We're going to give you AGI sprinkle juice. You're going to get it Sunday. Come on down to get your AGI sprinkle juice.
Oh, yeah.
We are dealing. We'll accept your trade on your non-deterministic data and give you some AGI sprinkle juice. You're going to walk off the lot. You're going to love it.
But more seriously, David, we talked about that when we made the episode about Oracle. The fundamental problem you describe with what you describe is that when Larry Ellison shows up and say, "Oh, we have all this data in databases and we're going to put AI on top and it's going to work," no, it doesn't, because Gen AI is good at text data. It is not good at data with structure because we couldn't process with machine text data. So until there is a way to actually map this non-text data to something that is language that Gen AI can use, there's no way to ask about those insights automatically. This technology cannot.
Are you telling me that Larry Ellison cannot read machine schematics, PLC I/O connections, and none of that stuff? Outrageous.
He has provided a relational database that was the most misused product in the whole story of technology, because people was incapable of designing proper schemas for the databases. I know, I was 20 years in this business. So this data is a mess. So good luck putting that into Gen AI. By the way, nobody has answered that question yet. There are some research.
Well, no, we have an IoT Coffee Talk because, I mentioned more than a year and a half ago that this is about knowledge. It's not just about data. But you're absolutely right. And the funny thing about these agentic frameworks is that they're just extending what they've done with reasoning models out into sort of the cyber physical type of realm, where these agents now have to have that translation layer that you're talking about, right, Dimitri? And all this talk about MCP is to figure out how to create what we used to call retrievers in the the heyday of RAG. That's kind of all they are, and people are just going bonkers about this stuff. And all people are doing is putting another layer of lipstick on top of this pig. And at the end of the day, all of this is starting to look a lot like a even more complicated RPA framework than we had before. And all of these guys are including now scripting inside of these agents so that you can, like what Rob jokingly alluded to, you can infuse determinism into their actions, right? And so one of the things that David and I talk about, on the podcast that I cut, increasingly LLMs are being constrained and their agency taken away. That is the complete antithesis of what the original assumption was and what people banked on 3 years ago. The idea was that these things can just go out and intelligently and without any assistance give you the outcome you're looking for. I know that sounds really ignorant today. It should sound ignorant today, but that was what the expectations people were running with when they made these FOMO bets early on, right? And so this is why time is important. We need to understand how the discourse has transpired and changed over time. And because we've been more grounded in the way that we've been looking at this stuff, we have a better perspective. This is a perspective that people who are drinking the Kool-Aid don't have. Absolutely don't have. And so it's in a rare situation or a position.
Leonard, sometimes when you're talking and you say all these words, I feel like I'm watching an episode of In Living Color and it's Damon Wayans just saying crazy big words. And that's what it sounds like to me. It's like In Living Color, which actually I miss those days very much. Wow.
Sure.
What if your pig is named Wilbur? That lipstick you're putting on the pig? What if it's some pig? Never mind. You didn't get the Charlotte.
No, I know. I got that.
All right. Okay. Oh, that's right. You've got little kids. You know about Charlotte. So, it's weird. It's like, I'm just sitting here in the parking lot looking around. I see traffic on the freeway. I see people living out their lives, Mr. Anderson, and going to the gas station, going to lunch, doing the thing. And most of these people, let's say 99% of them, don't know or care anything about this AI stuff or the race to AGI. They're just living their lives and it doesn't impact them at all. It's just funny to me. It goes back to the futures here, but it's not evenly distributed. We could reach AGI tomorrow, but how long would it take for it to impact and go throughout all of society? You know what I mean?
Well, if you ask the folks that have recently in the last year have gotten a data center deployed in their neighborhood, you can ask them two questions. You can ask them, hey, number one, what are your thoughts about your electricity bill, if any? And number two, hey, any concerns about your water supply? I'm just going to leave the questions.
Yeah.
People are being affected. It's just that not in the particular parking lot you're sitting on right now. It's if you look on the behind Buc-ee's, there's issues back there, Rob.
No, AI is on your Android phone. It's on your iPhone. It's been on the devices forever. It's just people talk about all this stuff incorrectly. They're delusional. They don't understand. I mean, it's flat out. And they've been misinformed for years about this stuff. It's plain and simple. I mean, I don't think there's more complicated than that. People have been misinformed and misguided about all the stuff while it's doing useful stuff in your life today. You know what I'm saying?
Remember that the amount of energy that it takes to make a lie, a BS, and then the amount of energy that takes to correct and refute and state the facts is exponentially more than the garbage. So it's tiring.
Yeah. Totally. So
wow, we don't know what to talk about anymore now.
No, we do. Actually, Debbie, what do you? I was just curious because I saw this podcast. It was a webinar on Duo, Cisco's Duo. Their IDM, offering, and it was about agentic AI, and I thought it was really, really good. But it was oddly super grounded, because like other companies, Cisco likes to pump the AI hype machine, pump. But I mean, what are some of the things that you're seeing on the agentic security side? Are you seeing anything that gives you hope that any of this stuff is going to actually happen next year?
Not really.
Huh?
Not really. I think people are playing around with it, trying to, they're mesmerized by the term. They're figuring out what that actually means within their organization. I think one of the big problems people have is that when you try to make AI the marquee item, it's hard to come up with something that's useful that's actually sexy. So I think probably next year to be people trying to figure out, okay, well, can I even use this? Does it make sense? What problems can I actually solve? And then is this something attractive enough, I guess getting back to the lipstick on a pig type of thing, figure out, is it attractive enough to even lead with that, right? So, that's what I think.
Yeah.
People are doing more talks than actually touching the stuff and doing stuff with it. So
yeah, and I find out a lot of developers who are trying to build agentic applications, they're finding that the economics are pretty horrific. Even though you can do some cool stuff with it, they're bumping into the constraints in terms of cost. It just kills the ROI.
Right.
So
it's well, and then when we talk about ROI, we were thinking about something that either saves money or makes money, but also part of companies' thoughts are around bragging, right, as well.
Yeah.
So that has a value to them as well, even though that may not be an immediate economic benefit. Yeah.
Thought leadership.
Yeah.
Thought leadership.
Right.
No, but you guys should check out that webinar. It's pretty cool. I mean, all of you guys and also our listeners. I was quite impressed by it. I was shocked by it actually. But yeah, I mean, come on, dude. We were on IoT Community. We were invited back onto IoT Community for our IoT Grand Slam on Wednesday, right? That was kind of
it was
fun.
like an episode of Community.
Yeah,
it was great.
So
It was good
you're
to be
saying
back.
Yeah, so it was great. We had Bill, we had Debbie, we had Rob, myself, and Dr. Tom, and Cole from Red Hat, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Cole from Red Hat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, he put the red in the hat. Exactly. I don't think he started working with Red Hat as early on as I did, though. Seemed a little younger. He wasn't working with Red Hat in the 90s, let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Start somewhere, yeah. And
when Rob was working over there, it was red. Remember the visors that didn't have the top? It was red visor before Red Hat.
Red visor. Yeah. They didn't have enough money for the whole hat to cover your head, so they could only afford the visor.
You have the vinyl, the red vinyl bit right here.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Kind of like some of those college football coaches that wear visors instead of hats.
Visors,
Yeah, visors. Women's tennis,
Roll
a lot
Tide,
of visors.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide. Yeah, exactly.
Well, they probably need to rename it Red AI now. So
why not? Why not? Let's do it.
We had to address the new fad of Gen AIoT.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, come on, guys.
Well, it's because that community started the AIoT thinking that would help their fortunes in the lagging IoT business. And so they just crammed that in there and people jumped on the bandwagon. Even our good friend, Eric Simone over at Clearblade, he was like, yeah, AIoT, and so then I was like, well, is that kind of like edge AI? Or is that like doing it? I mean, we always did AI with IoT, machine learning, but maybe they meant cramming it down at the microcontroller level. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. But then Gen AIoT, we're talking a bigger working set of RAM needed to do that, and Pete and I talked about that on his event. Yes. Can we put a SLM, on a microcontroller? Yeah.
And it turns out you can. You can. But you have to have a good use case and a good outcomes.
On the display.
Rob's AI.
We use the term generative edge AI, agentic edge AI. That I'm biased, but obviously that's my preferred term. But because it's not just about IoT. I mean, generative edge AI is running SLMs or multi-billion parameter models on-prem where the data is created, and that could be, in a Dell server on-prem or an Advantech box or something like that. It doesn't need to be IoT.
So, yeah,
that's true.
Well, but the thinking needs to transcend just, is it possible to run a model on on a microcontroller? No, I mean, seriously, and I think this is maybe that late discovery that will be made. You have to look holistically at, the cost.
Your voice is coming.
Cost.
Yeah, your compressor is a little aggressive.
This mic is so crappy. The blue.
Yeah, get a better mic, man.
That's a little better.
Get a Gen AI mic, please.
Gen AI mic.
I mean, you would think this. I mean, look at the size of this friggin' thing. You would think that it would have some kind of
get the Rode podcaster. That's what you need.
Ooh, Rode podcaster.
Just because it's bigger doesn't mean that it's better.
There you go. Ba-dum-bum.
Go to your room.
I am literally in my room.
Get it, David.
David, change your background, David.
Yeah, David, tell me what's the latest. What's going on in Switzerland, man? What's up?
So I'm actually with our British neighbors. I am in London.
Lovely.
Yes, a couple of meetings here. It's nice weather. I hung out with Dimitrios today. A couple of people, and what can I tell you? It's nice out. I'm running a little race with some friends tomorrow around the city, and then back home.
London at the holidays is a beautiful time of year. So
it is
It's great, and because here we always talk about fake news. I hadn't been here since April, and I got to tell you, I've been here for now 24 hours, and look, people are out and about, shops are open, Christmas spirit everywhere. It's typical London, and that's not what you see in the news. It's so weird, right? Like, it's like, wait a minute, like there's such a disconnect, and then you are there, you see it with your own Gen AI eyeballs, and you realize that there's a difference between what you're reading and the reality. So London,
it's
love
a cool
you.
place to be for the holidays.
Cool place to be for the holidays.
Nice. Are you there through the new year? Are you there through the new year, or are you?
No, we'll be in France skiing for the new year.
That's, as always, you're always in France that time of year. Yeah.
Very, very lucky to have that be a family tradition. Yes.
Nice.
And this year will be no different.
Nice.
I love it.
But tech-wise in London, had a couple of meetings with, telco friends from my telco past.
Oof.
And hyper and HPC friends from my telco past that made a jump. And, lots of chat here in Europe of data sovereignty, which is not a new topic.
Shocker.
At all.
Shocker.
But because of the political issues that could be global in scale, the reality is that these countries, they are really trying to look at ways where any big data project, AI investments, whatever, how can they maintain the integrity and the sovereignty of their data? Because there are things when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to defense, when it comes to, I guess, government strategy, that for obvious reasons, if you have fears that your friends are not really your friends, how do you keep this infrastructure as close to vest as possible? So I was having that chat in the context of the telco infrastructure, in the context of the high performance compute, and to some extent with our friend Dimitrios today with AWS. And I told him flat out, I think you guys are going to make easy money the second you figure out how you bring, all of your cloud services to someone's local rack. Like just here you go.
Well,
and you just
isn't that sort of the Azure Outpost or Azure Local AWS Outpost thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's been it's a tough one to do. I know Azure Local is doing it with Microsoft's doing it there, but
AWS
everybody wants
last week.
Everybody wants sovereignty over their data.
Well, I know we usually don't use regulation and innovation in the same sentence, but I think regulation is going to drive a lot of these requirements. So if you have something like Outpost, which has been out for some time, and maybe it's one of those like now it's the right environment for a deployment like that for an enterprise customer because of regulations and existing political fears. So that's what I've been.
You know what, David, you sound like a European man. What is all that kind of talk?
And all that stuff.
What is that kind of talk? You know what? Whatever. Hey,
Rob's in Texas. They don't do regulation there.
We don't do that shit here. If you want to keep data private, I got your answer. It's called floppy disks. If you need to send data to another computer, sneakernet. Okay.
Sneakernet.
That's how you keep it safe. That's
how they do it in Texas.
Yes, exactly. And whatever you do, never, ever grab that USB that you found in your mailbox for some reason. Do not plug that into your local machine.
Actually, funny story. I heard it at Embedded World North America. One of the giveaways I think they were giving away was like free USB keys, and I was like, "What?"
Oh, that used to be a hot item, though. Remember?
That used to be. That used to be the swag, right? Now it's like, who would plug a random USB stick into their laptop?
Or Pete, if it's a UB key, but it's misspelled with like UBI key,
UBS key,
it's like a bootleg UB key.
Yikes! So
If it says, if it says black hat on the key, it's like maybe you shouldn't plug this in. I don't know.
Maybe not.
I might be.
By the way,
crazy.
speaking of telco, I had coffee this week with, I won't name the person, but they run this really cool startup in Seattle, and he said, "Oh yeah, we're doing this stuff for ORAN. We have like an ORAN kind of orchestration thing." And I thought to myself, why are you getting involved with ORAN and telcos like that? That's a tough mountain to climb. But I don't know. You guys are more the experts on where ORAN is these days.
Because the telcos have proven that they cannot figure out what to do with ORAN. So what happens?
So I guess
a small
there's some money
outfit
to be made
with 15 employees, and I know who you're talking about. I'm going to text you who I think it was. Solves it for the telco. And once the telco figures out their own procurement process of 11 years to adopt the thing, it might be too late. But, look, ORAN on paper is very sexy. How can you, as a telco, be able to disaggregate as much as you can to avoid a traditional vendor lock-in?
Right, no lock-in.
But there's this give and take of like, but I am a telco. Everything I've done, I've been built and successful on vendor lock-in.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean if I want to disassemble these things? I think that's part of the issue. Now let me text you who I think you were talking
Okay, you send it to me in the chat. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe it's possible that you're always locked in to something. Even when you think you're avoiding vendor lock-in, you're locking into something somewhere. I don't know. When I bought the toothpaste today, I realized I was in vendor lock-in with like Colgate or something, and I you know what? But I didn't
think that's
stay
how
up all night
lock-in
going,
works, Rob.
I didn't stay up all night going, I'm locked into Colgate. If only I could switch to Crest.
You might be locked into brushing
cost.
your teeth, which is a good thing. Actually.
Yeah.
You don't.
But maybe as it turns out, lock-in isn't always the worst thing if it works for you. I don't know. Like this car, am I locked? I'm locked into Audi.
You're literally locked in.
What I want to know is, do you have a trade deficit with Procter & Gamble?
Yeah, you should put a tariff on them because you just keep buying their toothpaste. They're not buying anything from you.
Yeah, man. Trade deficit.
But I'm going to get a dividend check from the tariffs, right? And that's going to offset all the pain.
Dude, you can buy a lot of toothpaste with $2,000 if you go to Costco. I love you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Toothpaste.
I want to buy. Do they have Kirkland
But
toothpaste?
Costco is suing the administration for tariff costs and things. So that's kind of Well, why not?
You know what?
I'm expecting a little Costco rebate check this year from when they win that lawsuit. Yeah.
You know what? This is because you're right. It's strictly business, and that lawsuit is a business deal back to a business guy who thought that this was the right thing to do, and they're like, "Okay, Mr. Business, where's our refund? You screwed us. We had to pay all this money, and now it turns out it wasn't legal, and so I want my money back. Show me the money."
That's right. They do the rebate checks every year. They can just add a little on top for a tariff rebate, and we're good.
There you go. I want to see if I can get some Kirkland toothpaste now that I think about it.
They probably have their own branded toothpaste, don't they?
Yeah. Well, if you're with Kirkland, does that mean you're not locked in, or is that a new lock-in?
It's probably a new.
Kirkland's legit, man.
Yeah.
And you are not a sartorial adult until you have walked out with khakis from Kirkland.
I got
hard
him.
pass.
I got him.
Hard pass on Kirkland pants. Just
I'm going to admit it right here in front of the whole world. I have bought clothing at Costco.
Pete's got too much class for us, Rob. He's got too much class.
But they were actually Banana Republic khakis,
even
and
worse.
they're like $19. And so I said, "What's
this 1996? Is this Banana Republic? Is that what we're doing now?"
Yes, and they're selling them at Costco, and it was like,
no wonder
it was really cheap. And it turns out they're the same ones as the $100 khakis.
Oh yeah,
And so I'm okay. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm buying clothes and actually wearing clothes from Costco.
Okay.
There, I said it.
I appreciate your transparency.
Yes.
By the way, there's an interesting article in the New York Times about you can buy a pallet of returned items. It's like $700. You get this huge pallet. It's like of returned items that have been returned to Amazon. and it's like kind of a treasure box, and I would say treasure in quotes, but it's a box of random stuff, and you buy a huge pallet. It's like $700, and it's everything that's these random things that have been returned to Amazon and other stores. And they had an article about someone at Wirecutter that bought this thing and went through all of the goods and actually contacted some of the people that bought the thing originally before they returned it about why they returned it. It's a really interesting story. Turns out the punchline is it's a bunch of garbage. So, surprise, surprise.
It's probably worth so $700. I'll assume that it includes shipping to the contiguous.
I don't think it does. I think you have to pick up the pallet yourself.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. You can go to some of those.
So there's some YouTubers that's what they do. They film themselves rummaging through their pallet of random stuff.
This is gonna be like,
and you know what's in there, Rob, is the Banana Republic pants. That's what's in there.
Because remember,
there's a lot of scams.
Like you pay some amount of money for an undisclosed storage container, and then there might be
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars.
That's a good show, actually. That's a good show.
You might have some Martin Logan electrostatic speakers in there.
No, there could be some.
But you may not find that with your pallet from Amazon.
Pallet of returned items to Amazon. Yes, is probably what it sounds like.
Is anyone returning? What is it? NVIDIA slightly used GPUs to Amazon that I can get a pallet for $700.
They're gently used.
Gently used GPUs. That would be a nice find, but I'd be surprised.
And then when Wirecutter calls the previous one. So what were you doing? Oh, I was farming. I had a farm. Things did not turn out.
Mining some Bitcoin and decided to return it. Yeah. No, mostly this was polyester clothing. Was most of the. That's why. When you said Banana Republic pants at Costco, that's where my mind went. Was to polyester clothing. But
now we are officially equating one Blackwell GPU with one human employee, because that's what we're seeing. Human employees are being traded for GPUs by lots of big companies by the millions.
Wasn't this the plot of the Matrix?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Batteries.
Yeah. The Matrix is the next step. Is when we start using humans to produce the electricity to make the GPU run.
Yeah, we.
That's the next step.
Right. So the next great business is going to be setting up gyms.
And your LinkedIn profile is going to be the number of watts you can produce per day.
They should do that. The Pro Club here at Bellevue, they should hook all those machines up to the local Microsoft data center, and then the Microsoft employees will generate the power for the data center. And I think
yes.
Then serve Soylent Green in the cafeteria. So then
I love Soylent Green. That's my favorite little wafer. I love that.
Remember that we're humans. The second that you tell the employees, hey, look, we're going to be green. This is going to be great with your standard activity. We're going to power these systems and save energy. And it sounds so good. But that about 4 p.m. on that first Friday, there's going to be a KPI that's missing, and the whips will come out. And it's like, you are staying the whole weekend, faster. And that's how it always ends up.
Oh,
always.
Could be.
Always. Yeah. We thought we were going green. We didn't know we were going Soylent Green,
We're going red.
AI red.
Part 4.
We're in the Matrix. Yes. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, but I started working. I got the outline for a book I started working on a few years ago, and the idea of thinking, though, and I think I said this on the show before, was what does that very first primitive version of the Matrix look like? Very low tech. You don't have a lot of money. It's a startup, and it might have some problems. Some people might die. It may not work all the time. But
Horizon.
It's kind of like. Remember there was like one of the, yet another Star Trek, like Enterprise TV show where they kind of went back in time to like, what was that first early days of the Federation and the Enterprise, before things got really slick,
Captain
people.
In the Matrix series, the first version of the Matrix was a perfect world, and the human rejected it.
That's right. It was too good.
It was too good.
People not suffering. Yeah.
You machines who are being trained by our show, because we are some of the visionaries here, keep this in mind when you create your first version of the matrix. Don't make it too perfect. Otherwise, we human will reject it.
I've already come up with the name for my first version of the Matrix. I'm going to call it Kirkland.
Well, I was going to say we to Dimitri's point, we like flawed things like pants at Kirkland Costco.
Yes, yes. But as we've learned from Dimitri, the Kirkland champagne is pretty good.
Did you try it? Good.
I did.
There's also a
It's
Kirkland
good.
Stag's Leap, by the way, Rob. Have you heard about this? It's a Kirkland Stag's Leap.
I'm all in.
Yeah,
I'll give it a try.
That's very good too.
See, because Rob and I shop at the same places for our sartorial choices. I got a trick for you, Dimitri. The next time you buy some Kirkland champagne, what you want to do is you want to display a more expensive bottle where your guests can see, but then you serve it from the back of the kitchen. They will not know.
Oh yeah,
they will not know.
Totally.
They don't.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm drinking the. Oh, go ahead, Debbie.
$50 bottle of wine tastes very similar to an $800 bottle of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends. It depends.
Prove that out.
Yeah, it depends, but yes.
Yeah. I sometimes kind of choke on the Kirkland wine when I'm drinking it down, like the microchips as they're going down my throat. Sometimes they get stuck, when I'm drinking Kirkland wine. So
yes,
be careful about that.
I have an anecdote on that. If you go to a very famous wine shop in Paris called Taïwan, it's by the Arc de Triomphe. When you get into the shop, there's a book with the list of all the wines they have. So I went there years ago, and you flip the book, and you see that on the book there's a special column with their little dots. So I asked the guy, what's those dots? And say, oh, those dots mean that we reserve the right not to sell you more than 3 bottles. And I say, oh, why do you do that? And say, well, the reason we do that, sir, is because we have customers that comes and they scan the wine list, not looking at the name of the wine, not looking at the dots, but looking at the price. And when they see a high price, they said, I want 3 cases of this. And we might only have 6 bottles, so we want to actually keep some of those bottles for the people that really know what the wine is and want this specific bottle, as opposed to fundamentally have a rich idiot that shows up and just buy by the price and the name to display it and serve some Kirkland things on the back.
Exactly, because David's hanging out where a lot of those rich idiots are right now, because the French people would always say, oh, there's all these British tourists down here, and they say, Grand Cru, I want Grand Cru, and they buy it, and they don't even know.
But what Dimitri described, it sounds like this place, maybe the ownership, it might not be a chain. These are people that love wine, love its legacy, love talking about it, and profit is not the primary motivator.
Totally.
And because it's not, they're just, to Dimitri's point, you have the money, I don't care. I'd rather save 1 bottle for a regular person with amazing taste that has a great occasion to buy an elevated bottle of wine, whether it's Grand Cru or something else. I love that.
By the way, most wine shops in Paris, not the big brands like the Nicolas, but not the independent one. Most of them have bottles which are not on display. And you only get to know that when you know them. Say, hey, Dimitri, I know you like this. Hey, look at this bottle. And it's in the back of the cave somewhere in the basement. It's not displayed. Again, to avoid the guys that comes in, look at the price. Oh, $1,500. I want this one.
But you're talking about, I think, a nostalgic experience where you went to a place where someone recognized you, another person, not a sensor, said, hey, man, I know you like this stuff. Let me show you something else. Like, that cannot be recreated.
I mean, we should have an episode on that, because I actually do believe that I do believe that advertising is going to disappear and be replaced by those personalized recommendation by AI. And this is, by the way, the biggest challenge that Google has in this transformation. They need to succeed from people that don't want to be bombarded by ads anymore, but that you influence in the answers you give them when they use those Gen AI things. But that's a whole discussion.
So then let's leave a little teaser, because on that vein, another job that I think will not be getting replaced with any technology anytime soon are I'm going to make up the description, but are the people that work in high luxury hospitality. Not at the Marriott I'm staying at, which totally. It doesn't even have a window. I cannot afford the stuff, right? But the people that serve the high net worth individuals that go to, really expensive places, and these folks are like, will study your profile to make you feel welcome. Like there's no digital screen or anything that's going to take those people out of business anytime soon. Unfortunately, that doesn't generate millions of jobs everywhere, but it's very niche. But I think they'll be safe. Maybe we can do a little episode on this next week.
I do agree with that. And it cannot be replaced by AI as we have it today, because the training data is not big enough.
Yeah, true. I'm going to open a wine shop in Paris, and I'm going to call it the Ugly American. and I'll have traffic. And I have computer vision. I'm going to look for people that are wearing a fanny pack on the front. I'm going to pull them in, just suck them in.
Right. And it's a shirt that says "Roll Tide."
Yeah, exactly. And they're wearing the white tennis shoes, and got the whole look.
Wearing the Kirk.
Then you have to make your shop name more explicit. So the Ugly American, that can get you French wine.
There you go. The Ugly American.
I think we need to call it.
Yeah.
Leonard's done with his Minesweeper game, so
as Javier Bardem would say, call it.
Call it. Folks, you've made it, surprisingly, to the end of another IoT episode. Thank you for being here with us. Couple of reminders: do not make any financial or healthcare decisions with anything that you hear in this show. Number two, that extra money from pallets that you're buying or GPUs that you're selling on the black market, remember about the digital divide. And Leonard, what is the website for our charity?
It's Elevate Communities at www.elevatecommunities.org. Right.
Thank you very much. That's where we ship the money. I hope you got the website right. Otherwise, we're going to send it to the wrong person. So I think, you are more informed because you're spending time with us. We're a global IoT community bringing you unfiltered opinions about anything you need to know about IoT. And we wish you, in case you skip the next episode, which you shouldn't, happy holidays, regardless what you celebrate, where you celebrate, and how you celebrate. May you have an awesome holiday. We send you love from the IoT Coffee Talk crew. Peace out.
Much love. Much love. Absolutely.